imagine having a creative vision so big, so unbelievably complex that it just stays locked away in your head for 50 years. Now, what if the key to finally bringing that vision to life wasn't a bigger budget or a bigger team, but an algorithm? Well, that's exactly what we're talking about today, an epic opera half a century in the making and the AI that made it a reality.
So let's dive in. At the absolute center of this story is a composer, Thomas J. Cantrell, and the epic quest to create an opera that had been his life's work, even before a single note was written. A sprawling opera yearning to be born. Just listen to those words from the composer himself. You can almost feel the weight of that, can't you? 50 years of this massive, epic story just echoing in his mind, waiting for a way out. So what was the holdup? Why 50 years? Well, Cantrell himself called it an insurmountable challenge. We're talking about a project of sheer massive scale. The orchestrations were incredibly intricate. The harmonies were impossibly complex. It was just too much for one person using traditional methods to ever get a handle on. Okay, this is where things get really interesting. Because to understand the solution that finally broke this 50-year deadlock, we actually have to take a step back and look at the long, long history between music and technology. Cantrell puts forward this really powerful idea. AI showing up in music isn't some strange futuristic invasion. It's actually just the next logical step in a story that's been going on for centuries. The point is, music has always evolved right alongside the tools we use to make it. And you can see that progression so clearly here. In the Baroque era, the harpsichord allowed for a whole new level of complexity. Then the piano comes along and fuels the huge emotional sounds of the Romantics. In the 20th century, recording technology and later, digital audio workstations, or DAWs, basically put a whole studio on your desktop. Every single one of these innovations completely changed what was possible. So when you look at it that way, AI isn't some kind of threat to human creativity. Not at all. It's just the next instrument in this very long line of tools. It's a new instrument waiting for an artist to come along and master it.
And this idea reframes AI from being just a tool into something else entirely, a creative partner. But, how does that actually work? How does a person collaborate with a machine?
This is the key. The artist's role doesn't get smaller, it just transforms. You're not only the person coming up with the ideas anymore, now you're also the curator, the director. You're guiding this incredibly powerful tool to serve your vision. So, in practice, it's like a three-step dance. First, the human leads. Cantrell would write these incredibly detailed prompts to guide the AI. Second, the AI generates a universe of possibilities. Melodies, harmonies, you name it. And then step 3, the human sculpts. Cantrell would take all that raw material and use his decades of expertise to choose, refine, and shape it into a finished piece of art. Which brings us to the incredible result of all this, the opera itself, finally brought to life, Quetzalcoatl, for all time. And the story is just as epic as how it was made. Get this, it's a time-traveling saga about a scientist and a businessman from our future who gets stranded 2,000 years in the past in the legendary city of Teotihuacan. And at the very heart of this story are these two men from the same future, but with completely opposite goals. You've got our hero, Quinn Corona. He's a scientist driven by this duty to save humanity. And then you have Tez Lipscomb, a totally ruthless businessman who actually caused the future's problems and only cares about his own power and profit. And you can just hear the villain's arrogance in his own words. In one of his songs, he sings about the ancient people he's manipulating, saying, "Fools, they call me God. I'll play them like puppets, their minds I'll ensnare." He literally sees them as nothing but pawns in his game. But then you have our hero's response. In his song, Quinn makes this solemn vow to fight back against everything Tez stands for. He sings, "I'll face the darkness, whatever the cost, for a future redeemed, a world that's not lost." It's a promise to break that cycle of destruction. So you see, the technology wasn't just churning out abstract music. It was the tool that helped build this incredibly rich world. It helped shape the sounds of ancient Teotihuacan and gave a unique, powerful voice to the characters and the conflicts at the very core of Cantrell's 50-year-old dream.
So, what does all this mean for the future of art? For what it means to be a creator? Well, this brings us to our final and maybe most important takeaway. The main message here isn't that artists are being replaced. It's that the role of the artist is evolving. It's not disappearing, it's expanding. You're still the visionary, but now you're also harnessing these unbelievably powerful new tools to express that vision. Cantrell really leaves us with this powerful call to action. He's challenging all of us to let go of these, outdated notions of artistic purity and to just dive in and explore the boundless possibilities with an open mind. So after this whole story, after seeing a 50-year dream finally made real, it all really boils down to this one central question. Is AI a threat to creativity, or is it simply the artist's next great instrument just waiting to be played?